Greetings, YouTube. Once again, happy Thursday. Everyone should by now have in their in-game inbox a message about the September side quest, monthly quest. I never know what to call this dang thing. I call it a side quest. I don't know if it's like a side hustle. Some people love the side quests, some people hate them. I think it depends on what we're talking about. My favorite side quests are when we can build up currency to use on a store, like the 5-star Awakening Gem opportunity that is guaranteed if you use 3/4 of your currency, or Tier 5 Basic Callus Fragments, Tier 2 Alpha Callus Fragments, etc. The labs in the past have absolutely wrecked me, and I am not somebody who's going to sit here and be like, this is so easy, you just got to have the right champs and not suck and not be a noob like everybody that's not me, because I'm amazing and you're not. No, some of these fights I feel like are giving me trust issues. I see the word labs and I'm like, oh no, it's back. Am I going to have to fight MODOK again with 4 or 5 nodes on him that makes me die health as fast as the fight starts? Now it's going to be like add in Havoc or Emma Frost, because before, if I recall, you at least had Diablo as the last fight, so at least you're like, okay, I can just wait and have this guy drink himself to death. Not so much probably with this. In fact, Mr. Sinister is one of those champions that I still hate to fight. The only champion I really like to fight him with is my OG Vision to get that heal block, and I guess there could be champions like Yondu that are also pretty good to fight him with. But in general, not good. I'm used to bringing in Stark Spidey to fight mutant champions with that class advantage, and Stark Spidey is a terrible, horrible counter for Mr. Sinister that does not really work. So Mr. Sinister is continuing his work with genetic modification, yay, and has begun performing experiments in the champions of the contest, blah, 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 blah. What are Sinister Labs? That's what you care about most. Sinister Labs are short quests that consist of 2 paths, each with 6 fights on them. So I read that as 12 total fights, right? Sounds straightforward, not exactly. Mr. Sinister's experimentation has left these encounters unpredictable. All fights in these quests will feature a number of randomized buffs, I should say. Some of these buffs are more potent on certain champions, and some may even benefit the summoner. That's always great, especially when they give you things like life transfer. But don't be fooled into thinking you can start the fight without reading what you'll be up against. Now, I've got to be honest. I've tried that. Sometimes it works, and sometimes it's literally the dumbest thing I could do. Really don't like the buffs you're encountering. You can use a randomizer to reset them, but that doesn't guarantee that all of them will be different or any easier, and that's certainly true. This quest uses entry limits, meaning summoners can only enter 10 times each day across all difficulties. That sentence is grammatically incorrect. There are 4 difficulties that can be done daily, each with 2 paths. There is no point in doing any difficulty of the quest more than twice. You will only receive completion and exploration rewards once. Heighten your senses. For the first time ever, we're adding a new dimension to Lab Quest, Senses. Senses are mode-specific boosts that can only be used in Sinister Labs. You can only activate these boosts from the quest map screen. There are 6 boosts that summoners may activate. Tactile, when inflicted with any shock, cold snap, poison, or bleed effect, your champion builds immunity to the effect over 9 seconds. This time is reduced to 3 seconds while playing as a mutant. So, pretty cool if you don't have most champions that are naturally, of course, double immune, or a lot of them aren't even single immune to certain debuffs. Incoming special attacks have a 20% chance to trigger an evasion passive with auditory, granting a 100% chance to evade all incoming attacks for the duration of the special attack. Olfactory. All attacks have a 20% chance to deal true damage, ignoring all of the opponent's armor. Sense visual. While playing as a mutant, attacks cannot miss. Are you seeing how mutants really are going to be OP for this month's event? Hopefully you are. Gustatory. Sounds like a thing you would have to get removed with your colon. When the opponent is inflicted with a damaging debuff, your champion gains a regeneration buff, granting 5% of their missing health over 4 seconds. And then Rage. Boy, I have PTSD also with the Rage node, but this is different. When playing as a mutant, while at or below 20% max health, so that whole OG Hulk threshold, gain a Fury passive, granting 300% increased base attack. So they basically become, in some ways, OG Hulk. All right, so the rewards are really what people care about, right? So there are 2 paths. So if you do it correct, You get your completion when you finish the first path of 6 fights, and then the exploration when you finish the second path of 6 fights for the 12 total fights. You get 40 6-star shards a day. So if you were to multiply that by 30, you're looking at 1,200 6-star shards. So over 10% of a 6-star crystal, but that's still pretty pathetic, to be honest. 150 times 30, you're looking at 4,500 tier 5 basic catalyst fragments, which Kabam is now offering routinely for $50 of cash in their unit deals. 5-star hero crystal shards, this is where it is a little bit better, obviously. You have 350 times 30. So you are, hopefully looking at about a free 5-star crystal out of this, although we have seen events in the past that give you a free 5-star featured crystal or even 2 5-star crystals. So this is not the best we've seen in terms of rewards. Gold, pretty bad, and then randomizers are really nice for this. I think that the Epic in the past had a chance to give 5-star 6 stones, or at least 5-star 6-stone crystals. And they also had a chance to get those awesome random crystals that gave you a chance at a 4-star. I think they were like the ultimate crystals. And I don't see that here. It just gives you a randomizer each time. So the rewards, I gotta be honest, fairly underwhelming for Epic from what I can see. Now, I have had some people tell me that their master they're fairly happy with, and that is all about Tier 2 Alphas, 5-star shards, and Tier 4 Basics. So the Tier 4 Basics do give you a good chunk. We're talking you can make a lot of Tier 4 Basics by the end of the month, and then additional 5-star shards, of course. And Tier 2 Alphas are good. They're fine. You're still going to have about a fully formed Tier 2 Alpha as a bonus if you do it every day, both paths of Master by the end of the month. And then also, not quite the 5-star that we were hoping for, but you basically do 250 times 30, right? And you're at what, 7,500 5-star shards? So 75%. So between Master and Epic, you can get a 5-star featured crystal and then some, or maybe you can get close to 2 5-star crystals. They're not bad rewards. They're just not really, really exciting. And then when you go hard and below, I don't know. I just feel like at this point, people care most about this. So we're not going to waste your time by reading those. But I am going to be curious to see the difficulty. I don't get a sense from this what the PI is, but in the past, the PI has been as much as about 40,000 plus for bosses and between 28 and 35,000 for enemies. And I just think there are going to be some fights that are straight BS and you get wrecked, and it makes far more sense to quit out of the path and just not do it than use a bunch of units on revives. The rewards are not enticing enough to blow a bunch of units and potions and revives on. They're not like they would be when you should take those into Act 5 or Act 6 or even maybe the new variant difficulty, for example. So keep that in mind. It's a nice bonus when you have a side quest, but it can easily be the case where you are risking more units than you really are getting in terms of value, even if you complete the path. So I kind of wonder, where are the 6 stones? Where are those at? Where are the ultimate crystals? Or really someday, I wish they could have an opportunity for legendary crystals on epic difficulty, but I guess that's just not happening anytime soon. It's going to be kind of a hit or miss thing, and I'll certainly have a video at some point updating my thoughts on it when we actually jump in September. But I will say it's pretty amazing that it's August 1st, and we're already getting this. So there you go. And when I say August 1st, really this entire time, I should say this goes from August 7th to September 4th. I am so concentrated on teaching in 3 weeks because I'm teaching the most classes I've ever taught before, that when I scrolled down and saw Kabam Mike's comment about it goes to September 4th, it's easy for me to remember that as a beginning. So I'm not going to waste your time with that anymore. I'm just going to say, what are your thoughts on this? Are the rewards kind of or are you excited? For me, it's going to depend on the difficulty of the quests, and most importantly, it's going to depend on whether or not I can survive the difficulty with my roster and get the items of completion and exploration without spending too many units, and certainly revives. So those are my thoughts. I love editing videos right before they hit 10 minutes, so I'm going to do that now. Thanks for watching.